Good morning, everyone. This is Black Forest coming to you with another market analysis video. This morning, we're going to be looking at the AUDUSD. But before we get started to break down this currency pair, we have to state that this video is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice, but we all know why you guys are here, which is to find good, credible Forex content to help improve your ability as a trader and to help put a little bit extra money in your pocket, especially in these troubling times. Okay. And with that being said, let's go ahead and break down what is happening with the currency before we dive into what's going on the charts. Okay, now let's discuss the Aussie first. Now, we don't have a lot of news coming out about the Australian dollar this week. I don't believe we have any news events scheduled for the Australian dollar this week. Yeah, we don't have any news events scheduled for the Australian dollar this week. So we have to go off of what was the last economic news to come out about the Australian dollar, which was very good. And the Australian dollar, the Aussie, has been one of our more so stronger currencies over these past several trading weeks. Okay. Now, as I stated in previous videos with the USD, that we have a couple things going on with the USD. One, it has inflation hanging over. There's inflation hanging over the American economy. Secondly, we did have some poor economic news come out about the USD the latter part of the trading week. Thirdly, we do have some economic news coming about at 10 o'clock Eastern time. And fourthly, the Federal Reserve did increase the interest rate from 25% to 50%, excuse me, from 25% to 50% to combat inflation. And lastly, there is a lot of news and speculation coming from the Federal Reserve because the gentleman who runs the Federal Reserve, named Powell, he stated that he's going to put economic measures and policies in place to combat inflation much aggressively due to how outrageous prices are getting with everyday goods and gas. And if he's seeing the writing on the wall, like I am seeing the writing on the wall, he does not want this inflation to lead into an American recession, which can lead into a global recession. So they are taking some very tough stances against combating inflation here in America. Okay. Now, with that being said, there's two things that can happen. There's two roads that can be taken with that. If the economic policies and measures that are put in place along with the interest rate does not combat the inflation at a fast enough pace or aggressively, then we will still continue to see a lot of uncertainty in the U.S. dollar, and we'll see FUD with the U.S. dollars, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and it will lead to further weakness of the U.S. dollar. Okay. Now, also, if we do see that the economic policies and measures that are in place are combating, along with the interest rate, are combating the inflation very aggressively, very fast, and expeditiously, then we will see a very aggressive increase in the U.S. dollar strength. Okay. So, with that being said, we said that quite a few times this morning, but that's okay. We want to make sure we're thorough. Let's go ahead and break down what's been going on the charts. Okay, so we have been going up in an uptrend for quite some time. Okay, and then we did pick up a little bit here. But let us look and see when was the last time we were this high. Last time prices were this high was in November of last year. Okay, so this is the thing when you start to trade towards all time hot, when you start to reach highs or all time highs or highs prices have not been at in quite some time. I'm going to use Dogecoin for the example. Okay. Now, when Dogecoin started to go up in price, people bought Dogecoin at 40 cent, 30 cent, 50 cent, 60 cent, and 70 cent. Okay. Thinking it was going to continue to just go up, 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 and up. And what happened was Dogecoin crashed down very aggressively, and Dogecoin Dogecoin fell very aggressively, and It has not been at that north side price of even looking north of 30 cents for quite some time. It's been traded between 20 to 27 cents or 26, I think, at its highest. Okay. So you do not want to buy things at all-time highs, because people who bought that Dogecoin at those all-time highs are basically in a situation where they're holding it with the hope that it's going to continue to go back up again. Now, you don't want to do things off of hope. You want to do things based off, I know what's going to happen. Okay. And one thing I do know that that does happen is that when you start to reach areas that you have not been in quite some time, you tend to retrace back very, very aggressively. Okay. So, being that we have not been this high since November, and we do have a lot of talk about the American government and the Federal Reserve putting a lot of economic policies and measures in place to combat inflation. And then there's also news reports that they're going to be sending out stimulus money to American citizens to help buy gas to help buy gas to alleviate those woes at the pumps. We could see a drop in price, especially if next week sometime, if we get some poor economic news about the AUD, we will see this drop in price become very aggressively. So we could drop as low as here, this area here, or even in this area here, before we continue to go back up. So I would caution trying to buy in this area here, because the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to be stuck here for some time. And unless you got a lot of money in your account to take on a lot of retracement, your account is either going to crash or you're going to hit your stop loss. Okay. So, and if anything, if you do want to continue to buy, why buy something when it's so expensive? Don't you want to wait till you have a discount, then buy it and then catch all these good pips? You know, so always wait for the pullback and then to go into. But this is the thing: while this aggressive retracement is coming in, we could to start. There's a possibility that we can start to have changes in our fundamentals, in which the USD start to become much stronger than what it is, and the Australian dollar starts to become weak based on its economic news, and then that aggressive retracement would turn into price turnover. Okay. But we may retrace as far as here, or this area here before we continue to go up. Okay? Hope that information was helpful for you guys. Happy trading.